Our next guest movie is a sequel 35 years in the making that just seems too good to be true. Please welcome the cast and director of Blade Runner 2049. Guys, thank you so much for coming by the IGN stage today.
I feel like I want to give a round of applause or something. This is a lot of your first Comic-Con. Yeah, we got some applause back there. This is a lot of your first Comic-Con. What was that experience like up there on the Hall H stage presenting this movie to all the fans? Speechless.
Everyone at once. Not everyone at once.
It was quite intense. It was quite beautiful to see how much people are waiting for this movie to come.
You can feel the energy.
Yeah.
A lot of passion. That's really touching.
Yeah.
So this movie picks up 30 years after the first one. What's been going on in dystopian LA all this time? I think Edward James almost actually narrated sort of a timeline of what's happened since then. Can you summarize that for us?
What you been up to?
I'm not authorized to speak about what I've been up to, but needless to say, conditions have slightly worsened.
Okay.
Climate-wise, there are changes in the atmosphere, and things have not gotten much rosier. America is not great again.
Failed to make America great again.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But it's very interesting, and I think the story extends from the first film. Although it is a sequel, you really don't have to have seen the first film, I think, to follow this iteration. But the wonderful thing about the movie is how visual it is. So a lot of things are not really explained with dialogue, but you can see, feel what's happening to the city.
So we know your character, obviously, from the first Blade Runner, even though you can't tell us what he's been up to after all these years. Brian, everyone else, can you sort of talk us through your new characters who we'll meet in this movie?
Come on. It's your story. No, it's your story.
Sylvia?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Brian.
Very short words, very short.
I'm a Blade Runner in the. I'm a Blade Runner in the
super special.
super special
Super
in the year
special Blade
2049. Yeah.
Anna, who do you play?
I am very special too.
Yeah, also.
I play Joy, and she is very important in his life. And
It's tough to talk about
yes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Without really-
and there's a
Yeah.
sniper over there. If you say too much,
Say
you
this.
just-
They're doing their best to walk a very tricky line. They have
Yeah.
to train.
Can you give us a one-line summary, maybe, if you can't say too much about it?
Well, my character's name is Love, and I think for her a big theme in the film is her quest for her identity. She works for Neander Wallace, played by Jared Leto, and she has a complex relationship with him, so it's quite a fun role to play.
Everything sounds very complex and very secretive about this movie, but Denis, I'm curious, can you talk about stepping into Ridley's shoes and creating the sequel, but really making this film your own and a standalone film beyond just being a sequel?
The thing is that I didn't step into his shoes in some ways. He gave me the gift to walk in my own path. I would not have been able to work with him behind me. I mean, it's like he gave me freedom, and don't look at me like that.
Look at you.
Well, I know that's how we feel when you direct.
But
Really?
I had Ridley gave me everything he knew, and the reason and all the tips and the things that he knew how he did the first movie, and then he let me free to do the second one. That was the best way to do it, I would say. Yeah.
I think you told another outlet that you took the job because you didn't want someone else to F it up.
Language,
reason.
come on, man. Let's keep it clean. This is a nice show.
It is a family show. Ryan, was the first film important to you?
Yeah, I think I saw everything that kind of ripped it off first.
Yeah. Be careful that's what you're saying right now because Harrison is.
Yeah, but it was, I think it was for. It's hard to really explain the effect that the original had. It just influenced not only so many films, but just culture in general.
Yeah.
And I also lived downtown LA for a long period of time, and
Sure.
and I'd be lying if there weren't a few drunken nights. We were walking around the Bradbury building pretending we were Blade Runners anyways. So it was amazing to finally, just to be asked to be a part of something so iconic and to work with such talented people.
Sure.
Harrison, what did it mean to you to step back into this role again for this film?
There was a script that I thought that had a very good idea about how to progress the character that I played 30 years ago, how to involve him in a story that had an emotional context that I thought was really compelling and something I really wanted to be part of. And actually, when I first read the script, I thought of Ryan and how great he could be in this part if he just listened.
Harrison had a lot of notes for me.
Yeah.
A lot of notes. He will after this interview too.
I think he's gonna have
He's
notes
taught
for
me
us.
to ignore my instincts.
Yeah, but it was a great script, great opportunity. I was delighted to be able to do it.
So is it true, Denis, that you didn't actually cast Harrison? He was already on board with the project when you came on, and that in fact Harrison had to approve you?
Yes, at the end of the day, I had to sit in front of this man and behave correctly so I will get the job. Because
The film looks absolutely stunning, and I'm sure that there were some special effects involved, but I was wondering if you all could talk, were there any specific sets that blew you away when you walked onto the stage to shoot?
All of them. Well, there was one specific one that I loved. We can't talk about it a lot, but it's Neander Wallace's office, if I can say that. And Roger Deakins did something with the light that it became just a character on its own. It was incredible. I've seen shots of Harrison on that set, and I couldn't stop looking at it. It was really, really good. Yeah.
One of the very clever choices that Denis and others involved made was to build as many practical sets as possible. So, if it was a CG, a computer-generated background, you really don't know where you are, and you don't know how to feel in it. You can look at a picture, but you can't hear how sound works in a room. You can't. The lighting just isn't the same as it would be in the film. So you have this very dramatic context in which to work. And it was really, I thought it helped us a lot.
Yeah.
It was great.
I think one of the most talked about aspects of Comic-Con this year is the Blade Runner activation that's outside. And I think there's a VR experience, and then you've recreated LA that people can walk around and explore.
Is that where the Brazilian party is happening?
Well, maybe, yeah. The music. I was just wondering if any of you have gotten a chance to walk through the activation.
I went last year, and it's quite amazing. Yeah, I was quite. Obviously, I'm very focused on finishing the movie right now, so I'm not part of the marketing of all this.
Yeah,
and I was quite impressed by what they did. Yeah.
As a fan of the first film, I was very happy to see that Atari is still around in the year 2049. In the first film, it's no more than a logo on a building. I'm sure it's not more than that in this film. But Denis, in your mind, do you have an idea of what the Atari Corporation is in 2049? Are they still making video games?
I cannot answer to that, but I can say that it was important for me to have the same. It's a thing that Ridley did in the first movie with Scott. The idea that there were some brands, real brands that were, and the thing is that it's a strange fate, but a lot of those brands don't exist anymore. But I was able to use those brands again, like Pan Am, for example, that was part of the first. So the Blade Runner is really part of the movies, like an alternate universe. So to bring back those brands, make this universe alive again, I would say.
Hey, the Atari box is coming back, though.
I know.
Atari's alive and well still. Atari's
He has an Atari at home.
I mean, yeah,
He plays
when he's not.
That's not supposed to tell people that.
like that. Yeah.
Huge spoiler alert.
Yeah. I'm glad we got
That part out.
You got that Atari scoop here on IGN.
Wait, I'm being told. We have time for one more question.
We have time for one more question. Are there other really fun Easter eggs that you can sort of tease from the first movie that you brought back in? Obviously, the biggest one is sitting next to me, but anything else that you used to tie the two films together that you're excited about?
It's difficult to, live like that. Cannot. Unfortunately, it's a strange exercise for us to come in front of you. We are happy to be here, but we cannot talk.
There's a marching band playing the Super Mario Brothers theme song outside, but that's Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's Comic-Con.
I'm going to ask a daring question here. There's always been some ambiguity about whether or not Deckard is a replicant or not. Does this film shed any light on that mystery?
No,
Okay.
none whatsoever.
But you've been very adamant one way, and Ridley has been very adamant the other. Do you guys just like to foster confusion among the fans?
Yes, we do. Yeah, and amongst each other. Yeah, yeah. I think the audience has their own opportunity to work these things out, and part of the fun of it is that process. So, yeah, there's no answer.
Well,
But thanks for asking.
you're welcome.
Sure, it's the first time you've been asked that this Comic-Con.
Or ever. Guys, I'm so glad you guys came by the set. Super excited for Blade Runner 2049. It's like I said at the top, it seems surreal that the sequel's being made 35 years later. Key people, Harrison Ford, Ridley Scott exec producing, the same writer working on the screenplay, this amazing cast, visionary director. It seems too good to be true, like I said. So I'm very much looking forward to October 6th.
Great.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.